at the library, I decided to make a video on technology, future technology that I feel like is pretty suppressed in the general knowledge of the public. So I want to share with all of you all the things that I've researched and point in the direction of other people who are researching the same things. And I'll just share just a tiny bit of what I've been researching, and there's so much it's impossible to get it out all in one video or anything. And that's why I've done more videos on this on my channel, but it's almost like you have to choose your own path. But I'll give you some basics on understanding what to look for and how you could confirm for yourself that a lot of these things are true, and how to experiment with it. Basically, so this is going to be kind of a rough video because I don't have editing capabilities on my computer anymore right now, so it's just going to be a one shot, just showing you on the computer. I wanted to edit this and make it look nicer, but just kind of bear with me. But hopefully you'll feel a spark of excitement when I share some of this stuff, and then you'll kind of take off on your own with some of the research and a better discernment of what is true and what is not out in the world. But so basically I'll show you what I have researched already, or what I'm in the middle of researching. Alternative home designs for the future, alternative to septic, battery bank solar, alternatives, electrode cure for viruses and like cancers and stuff like that, electric gravity fed water systems, heating and cooling, power generation alternatives, teeth healing and hardening, let's see, and of course other health alternatives and stuff, changing water into gas, and that already exists, and alternative water sources and finding water. Basically I'll concentrate on power generation. I'll show you two places to look that'll give you a good start on just amazing paths in your research. So this is rexresearch.com, and I'll put this link below, but I've shared this before, but you'll spend hours and days and years on this stuff, not only finding ideas, but experimenting with your own builds. Just any topic with electricity, with air wells, fog collectors, antennas, just a ton of different old patents for the last 100 years, and different ideas that people have had. So, and here's an air well, I don't know if you can see that in there, but I mean, this will just it'll spark so many ideas in your head about what you can do, about what you can research and invent on your own, or recreate some of this stuff. And so that's just one place to start. And here's another YouTube channel. So I came across this guy. He only has 25,000 subscribers or so, but I think he is on to some great things. He has some good research here and videos on things that I bet you have never heard of, that people are developing and they're inventing right now. And just as you just watch some of these videos, you'll catch on really quickly. And that's one of the discernment things, is as you just watch some of these things, see if they connect with what you already know. Just the basic little things like on how the universe works, on how planets and galaxies and solar systems and how they generate power. And it's just one big power generation system, is the cosmos. And that's what God the Father uses. And so he's got his eternal energy out there, and if we get closer to him, we feel of his power and his energy. I'm kind of going in this not so much the spiritual route, but kind of the science behind this stuff. So when I talk about the cosmos and stuff, I'm really tapping into understanding the science behind this stuff. So if we do, we can understand how free energy works and how we can invent it ourselves. This one is just a really old video about crystals, and this 20-minute video taught me more about crystals than my entire school career. And so I thought this is just a fantastic video about that. But that's just one of them. You'll find that on the same channel that I was telling you about. It's just a collection of so many different things. And here's just one concept of an invention that a guy made. And this is a free energy device, and he just makes it with permanent magnets. And you can see this animation on how it builds. Basically, it's going to replicate what planets and solar systems do as they spin around each other. And just pretend these are little planets, and this is a solar system, and as they spin around each other, they have, this is basically a future, just a concept of the free energy, and it has connection to our understanding of just the universe and how that works. And here's a live built example of that, and you can just see the permanent magnets. Pretend these are little planets, and how they just kind of stick there on their own, and they just freely spin around this thing as if it, this is probably copper and a iron core in the middle and pickup coils around the edge. So they kind of pick up speed, spin around each other, and they're generating electricity as they spin around that. And just by looking at it, I know this stuff, and you basically already pick up on what you already know, and that the concept can work just by looking at it. And other people there's a lot of naysayers are gonna say that something else about this, and it's not possible, or they're pumping in electricity from somewhere else, or something. But just have your discernment as you start your research. But there's also videos about crystals, crystal energy. This one, let's see, I'll try to find it here, but I've done a ton of research on different ways of collecting that energy. So one of them is the piezoelectric effect, and this is something that is already, information is already out there. You probably know this stuff, but we don't know the potential of it. And this is basically different crystals that have the capability of the electricity effect. You can get electricity out of it. Rochelle salts, tourmaline, quartz. Quartz is the most abundant. It's the hardest of them all. Tourmaline, it goes in the order of the most beneficial to get electricity out of it versus the hardness of it. So the Rochelle salts, you get the most electricity out of it, but it's the softest. It'll kind of break apart. A lot of people make their own batteries out of the Rochelle salts and Epsom salts or whatever mix, and they make their own. Basically, any crystal you could make a battery out of, and I already have videos about this proving this. And a lot of people are making little capacitor batteries, and I started getting closer to using graphite or graphene, and graphite is the same principle as this. You can make a capacitor battery out of graphite or graphene, and graphene is just a more refined, powdery, version of graphite. And I have my graphene supercapacitor videos that I've made on my channel, and it's based off of this concept, and this is from an old video. And quartz is the most abundant, and you can get power out of it. And just like I was watching a documentary on the pyramids in Egypt, And perhaps maybe it wasn't a tomb necessarily, but maybe those pyramids that they were building were all, had the capability of generating power from the earth and focusing in that energy towards a point up at the top of the pyramid. And of course, you heard probably lots of stories about maybe Satan has used those same concepts, the same technology, to make a show, and so people worshipped different gods back then or whatever. But maybe he's using the modern science back then or whatever to really put on a show so people will want to worship other gods or something like that. So you may see that, but you could kind of see the concept behind the piezoelectric effect, and this is the principle behind it, is mechanical stress produces electric charges. So if you use one of these crystals or any kind of crystal, you take a quartz rock out from your yard, you throw it on the sidewalk at night, and you'll see it light up. And that is this principle right here. The mechanical stress produces electric charges. And so when this happens, you see the piezoelectric effect, and you'll see it light up. You see that in lighters, modern lighters that click. That has a little crystal inside and a hammer. That when it hammers down, it creates electric effect, and you get a light. You could use a lighter out of it for your barbecue, whatever, light up your fire. So, and we also know the concept of the piezoelectric effect. This is